Use code AFTV20 for 20% off your order with Fireaway Pizza. Just click the link in the description below or go to fireaway.co.uk now.
AFTV, Frank, honours even at the Etihad. 0-0. What did you make of that performance from Arsenal out there today?
It's a bit of a weird one for me, Dan. It almost feels like a win in a way. I know obviously we didn't pick up the 3 points and at the end of the day we're not top of the table anymore, but to go to the Etihad, withstand the City barrage and come out of there with a point, I thought was fantastic. I know we probably didn't play as well as we probably should, and we have been in the most recent games, but you know, this is Manchester City we're talking about. This is the European champions. They're currently the best team in the world. And the fact that we have played them 3 times this year, got 2 wins and a draw, and we've gone unbeaten against Manchester City this season, is a sign of the progress that we have made as a club under Mikel Arteta. And ultimately, yes, we didn't get the win, but I'm still buzzing with that result.
Listen, on my phone, people are saying that Arsenal put 6 behind the ball, we come for a draw. Did you see it like that? Is that a bit harsh? Is that the neutral fan talking?
Yeah, no, do you know what? I completely agree, actually, to be honest. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. You look at the way Porto played against us, for example. They came, set up shop, not necessarily to get a win, but, you know, just to not lose. And Porto got all the praise in the world for that. So just when it's Arsenal, all of a sudden people have got a problem with it. So I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with playing that way of football against a Manchester City side that infamous. We've been to the Etihad so many times and been slapped up 3s and 4s. We haven't won at the Etihad since 2015. That's 9 long years. And yes, again, we haven't won today, but this again, it's progress, and I'm happy with that, regardless of how we played.
Listen, there are some big performances out there today from our Arsenal boys, and I wanted to ask you who actually impressed you. We know who got player of the match, but there was a few out there today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think obviously Haaland ran into his kryptonite again today, and William Saliba and Gabriel. I said that in the game that we beat them at the Emirates, of course. But again, the 2 of them played fantastic for me, and I'd probably agree with the man of the match for William Saliba. I know he didn't finish his chances necessarily, but I thought Gabriel Jesus played very well. So considering it's not his natural position, you know, not playing a lot of minutes since coming back from the injury, I thought Gabriel Jesus played fantastically today. But there's one for me that not a lot of people were saying, and not a lot of people were considering for man of the match, but I think he's definitely in contention. Ben White, for me, played fantastically today. We saw a Bukayo Saka today that was really struggling, and Ben White's almost had to fill in for him in that right wing spot as well, obviously overlapping fantastically. And I think throughout the whole game was the only one that looked solid throughout the whole game. I think there was a spell of the first 15-20 minutes or so where William Saliba didn't look that fantastic, but obviously in the following 70 minutes just played out of his socks. But for me, throughout the whole 90, Ben White looked solid, so congratulations to Ben White.
Yeah, I thought particularly in the first half he was fantastic. What does this mean now, Frank? Has this changed anything for you? Does this draw mean, with Liverpool winning, that we now are no longer favourites if we ever were? Are Manchester City still favourites now, that even though Liverpool have won?
It's certainly, for me, advantage Liverpool. However, I did obviously say, I think I've said it in my previous fan cam, if we was to come here and win today, I thought I was under the opinion that we would have won the league. We've come here, we didn't get the win, as I said, but we haven't lost. So I think, again, we're still right in this race. I probably wouldn't even have Manchester City as the favourites anymore, because, you know, there needs to be a lot to happen in order for Manchester City to get back to the top of the table. I know it's only 2 points, but they've now got to rely on us dropping points. They've got to rely on Liverpool dropping points. So I actually wouldn't have Manchester City as the favourite anymore. As to who it would be out of Arsenal and Liverpool, I think only time will tell, but, you know, we'll see how it goes.
Just lastly, the games are coming thick and fast, bro. It's literally now right to the end. Every 3-4 days, Arsenal playing football. Players that come on today: Thomas Partey, Martinelli, Trossard. Looks like we've got a fairly fully fit squad now.
Absolutely, and you mentioned those 3 that came on, and I thought all of them played great. You know, Thomas Partey has not played a lot of football this season. I think the last time we saw him, correct me if I'm wrong, before this spell of injury that he's had, was the City game when we beat them. And that's back in, November, October time was that? And so, you know, so for someone that hasn't played a lot of minutes this season, to come in and play as well as he had today was absolutely fantastic. I thought Trossard looked fantastic when he came on as well. The one thing that's annoyed me about Leandro Trossard, and I think you know what I'm referring to there, is the fact that he didn't just cut that ball back to Gabriel Martinelli. But I'm saying this, I just said it to Laurie off camera a moment ago, I think everyone in that situation, especially given that he's on his stronger foot, it's not their number one goalkeeper. He probably definitely did fancy himself. Everyone would have taken that opportunity and would have gone for the shot there, in my personal opinion. And unfortunately, hasn't worked out for him, but it's not affected us negatively as per se.
Big up, Frank.